Back for more lymphatics, so let's take a look again. We said that the filtration is out into the tissues from the capillaries. Absorption is from the tissue back to the capillaries. Lymphatics were anything extra. So let's see what edema formation is. So what is edema? Edema occurs when filtration is greater than absorption plus lymphatic removal. Okay, what does that mean? That means, so let's write an equation. This is something that you're going to have to deal with on the exam. So edema occurs when filtration is greater than absorption plus lymphatics. You can say L plus A, whichever one, as long as you remember. Edema or swelling the tissue occurs when too much is coming in and not enough is going out. What do I mean? Let's say for every 100 that comes in, normally 90% of it will leave the tissues back into the capillaries through absorption. The remaining 10% will leave through lymphatics. But what if I break, or let's do one. Say I break this and I obstruct the lymphatics. That means I destroy it somehow. Maybe there's a viral infection that causes destruction, or I have surgery done and it removes the lymph nodes. What happens if 100 comes in and 90 leaves? Well, there's 10 left over. So that's not bad, but say 100 more comes in and 90 leaves. It's 10 more. Over time, the accumulation of fluid in the tissues leads to swelling. Swelling within the tissues is called edema. And edema could be from this. Maybe somebody has congestive heart failure, and we've talked about this before, and there's 1,000 units that's being pushed into or from the capillaries and the blood vessels. It's pushing out into the tissue, but you're still going to have the same kind of fluid tissue buildup or edema formation. How do you deal with that? Well, we said first thing was diuretics, right? Diuretics will help to remove extra fluid and kind of remove all this excess that's in here. But concept, edema occurs when filtration is greater than the ability to remove through absorption or lymphatic removal. Okay, so again, we said what is edema? It's when F is greater than A plus L. What is F? Filtration. What is A? Absorption. What is L? Lymphatic removal. So what is filtration again? It's the movement of fluid from the capillaries into the tissue. What is absorption? From the tissues to the capillaries. What is lymphatics? Lymphatics removes the extra. And if lymphatics break down, edema forms. If filtration is too great, edema forms. How do we remember this? Well, what factors affect edema? EIDL stands for So I told you last time that the important variables in this equation, and this is the Starling's equation of the capillaries, is PC, that's the pushing pressure coming from the capillaries. That could be affected by congestive heart failure, too much salt in your diet, and then PHYL is due to albumins, proteins. If I don't have protein in diet, I lack albumin, what am I going to form? Well, if this goes down, right? This goes down, then what do I end up with? We said the Shaka sign, right? The Shaka sign. If this goes down, I end up with filtration. What about if this guy goes up? So this is my pinky. If he goes up, I end up with filtration again. So EIDL stands for increased PC. It's too much pressure pushing out from the capillaries. A decrease in PHYL. That's not enough protein in the diet. And what kind of country might you see that? Third world country that doesn't have access to protein. OL, I said anytime I destroy or obstruct lymphatics, I'm going to have extra fluid stuck. So that's called edema. And the last one is salt. I just remember salt intake. If you have too much salt that you're eating and your blood pressure goes up, sometimes that salt can affect whether or not you have swelling and edema formation. So how do you treat? Well, you can reduce the salt intake. You can give a diuretic to reduce edema formation, which is filtration is greater than lymphatic removal and absorption. Break time.